right, man. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to drink, aren't
Yeah.
I?
After you do the cheers, you're supposed to drink. Can you talk? This sake is really good. Can you talk about this one a little bit?
Yeah. I actually forgot which one this is now.
This is the one that you got in Oita from the dude.
Yeah. It's the one I got in Oita, but I did a whole bunch of taste testing.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember. There was something special about this one, but it's escaped me.
Yeah, well, this one is a namazake. I really like this one.
It is namazake,
which
which is kind of a little bit more, like I guess on my side of the preference. I think.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but so you got this in Oita.
Yeah.
And you tried it. It was good. And just to tell you guys, so このポッドキャスト聞いてるまたは YouTube 見てる皆さんもしおすすめの日本酒がありましたら寄付していただければ購入しますのでよろしくお願いします。あと前回お伝えした時にちょっと寄付の機能がついていなくて申し訳ないです。But we're all good now, so please send us your sake and we will try it on the show.
Please do. I really get to enjoy drinking all this sake.
I know, seriously.
Especially, so you guys don't get to see this part, but sometimes we don't finish the bottle.
Yeah.
And so I get to take home the bottle.
Yeah, that's true. That's the best part, right?
That is the best part.
Cool. All right, so today we are going to talk about men's hairstyles.
Yeah.
Which I think came originally because we were talking about like otokorasha, like being manly in Japan versus the States.
I think like the concept of like beards and stuff is something we kind of touched on.
Yeah.
Both of us have beards now.
Yeah,
so
I know
it's
your
like
beard is looking very
we're growing it out. I got to
full.
trim it out a little bit, and it's getting a little scraggly.
Yeah.
So I've noticed, and I never knew this. And call me crazy because I'm 33 years old now, and I never learned. Apparently, if you just comb your hair, your hair looks nicer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I noticed you combed your hair.
Well,
yeah.
But it also works with beards.
Yeah.
So if you comb your beard, it doesn't look like a scraggly mess. Yeah. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. The problem with me is that I have like these like cowlicks over here, so it gets really swirly and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, dude, shaving my beard is a nightmare. I have to shave in 4 different directions to like get a single shave.
I'll tell you, I don't. Maybe it hasn't grown in so much right here, but I have patches of white hair.
Yeah.
So my hair's starting to get like turn a little gray.
Yeah, mine here too.
But it's just so annoying because it's like so spotty.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like, can you not?
It's not the cool type of white hair or gray hair, you know.
It's like I'm okay with white hair. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think white beards look super cool.
Okay.
And I'm excited to eventually have a white beard, but like the spotty patchy process is not cool.
Yeah, you want to get like a shock of like white hair at the very least, but
cool.
But not like this. Like that's what I have right here. It's
it's like it looks like you just ate food.
Yeah, right, so exactly. And like yogurt is sticking on your face or something. Yeah. But we're not talking about this here. We're supposed to talk about this hair.
So I've actually gone through a little bit of a hairstyle change because I've been wearing my hair pretty long, and when Luna was born, my daughter, I reverted back to getting a nice high and tight.
High and tight, yeah. Can you explain what a high and tight is?
So a high and tight is traditionally a military haircut. You usually see it among Marines, but it's not unique to Marines. Like other branches of the military can have it too, but they usually don't.
Yeah.
But basically, what they do is originally you would take your hand and you would put it up above your ear like this, and that is the line that your hair gets cut.
Okay.
It's a little bit less janky now.
Yeah.
Now they just, find the line and they shave it. But they shave off all the way down to the skin.
Yeah.
And then you have like a little patch of hair up here.
Yeah.
And that's also very short. And originally the reason for that is just because, soldiers would get lice when they're on the battlefield. So, shaving their hair down reduces the chances they're going to get head lice. Nowadays, they do it just because it looks professional.
Yeah.
And I got it because it makes me nostalgic.
Okay. Okay.
So,
it's funny. In one of our comments, someone was talking about, "Oh, Austin, you cut your hair. Finally, you don't look so bossa bossa anymore." I was like, "Yeah, you don't look so shaggy anymore."
Yeah. I was kind of looking like a bit of a shaggy dog. I was embracing the Shonan life.
Hey, you know what? That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But for me, when I was thinking about like haircuts in the States versus haircuts here, I feel like here, anime hair is really a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Agree. Yeah.
Like the hair that just kind of like comes down over like your eyes or something like that for guys.
Yeah. Look, whatever people want to do, I'm not going to judge them.
Yeah.
But, man, you can't tell me that that's convenient during the day.
Yeah, all the hair.
Like, coming down right here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You definitely do see it, though. And definitely, I would say there's a really unique hairstyle among, like, teenage men and men in their, probably up until their 30s.
Yeah.
Where it's, like you were saying, it's like long, straight hair, usually down to their jawline. Yeah. And then there's like that wave of bangs that covers one side of their face.
Yeah, right.
You see that a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because like you would think it would just be like with teenagers, but you see like young salarymen with that hairstyle too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. People tend to keep their hair long.
Yeah.
One thing that really shocked me when I first got, well, not when I first got it, but when I first met like not Japanese Americans, but Japanese people, Japanese girls, was not just like the bangs, but you know how they have like the bangs, but then they have like the long hair that comes down the sides like that to frame the face.
As a high school teacher, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, but like that kind of hairstyle is not common in the United States, right?
No. Definitely not. I would say honestly bangs aren't super common in the US. Like bangs are it's kind of funny like the phases bangs go through.
Yeah.
Like when you I would say this is more kind of talking about women's hairstyles because I don't think men really use bangs all that much. And if they do, it's kind of like what we were talking about where it's like off to this like parted to the side.
Yeah.
But like with women, it's so interesting because like you'll see like a little girl who's probably like 8 or 9 or whatever. Usually they don't have bangs.
Yeah.
Usually they'll have like their hair tied back or like in ponytails or something. And then they hit junior high, and all of a sudden, I kid you not, almost all junior high students will carry around this tiny little bang comb.
Yeah, right.
And they'll grow out their bangs like awkwardly long.
Yeah.
Like to like right here.
Yeah.
And in between classes, they'll be like.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that'll last all through high school.
Yeah.
And then they get out of high school and they realize how ridiculous they look with super long bangs.
Yeah.
And so they'll cut it.
Yeah.
And typically you'll see a lot of college girls with like short bangs or like no bangs at all. And then it'll like go back and forth in their 20s. And then for some reason, 30-year-old women just don't have bangs now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like this long journey of like doing bangs. And the only reason why I bring it up is, like I said, I'm a high school teacher. And it's
you
like,
see it.
I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's always the same process.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's like, I almost kind of wish someone would document it.
Yeah. Because, it's funny. Like the amount of times I've seen like young girls looking into a mirror and like combing their hair or combing their bangs is so much more frequent here than what I saw in the States.
Yeah, it's really interesting because something I will say in the US, women do sometimes have bangs, right?
Yeah.
But what I think they end up doing is they end up curling them.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Right? And you'll see women here curling their bangs, but if they do so, they don't curl other parts of their hair.
Yeah.
It's specifically only their bangs, and they'll have really short or really straight hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting.
Do you know why like bangs are so much more popular here?
No, is there a reason?
Yeah, so bangs apparently make your head look smaller and you look younger. So actually, a lot of times,
I can
like,
believe that.
Older women will like have bangs down to here because it makes their face look smaller. Like, you know how in Japan, like people care about the kogao, like looking their face looking small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that's what someone explained to me why there's so many bangs.
That's
people wearing
interesting.
bangs here.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
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 Huh.
One thing that I was like super surprised about too was like just the amount of like men's gel and hair product here. Like, have you seen like the different types?
Yeah.
They have like sheen, hardness, like they have 7 different levels for each of them.
Yeah.
And like very few of it actually works on my hair.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I was really surprised because like when I think back in like, you know, going and getting men's hair product in the States, it's like you had your pomade, you had your hair gel, you had, you know, hairspray, that kind of stuff, right? But it's like there at least as a casual consumer of hair products, I'm sure once you get up into like the higher levels, this is not true. But as a casual consumer going into the store and just being like, look, I just want some hair gel.
Yeah.
You go into the section and you got your like 3 or 4 different kinds of hair products.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
But here in Japan, if you do the same thing, like you were saying, there's like different types of each product you can get. And like they'll even go like an extra step of like you're supposed to like rotate products, if that makes sense.
Really? You're supposed to rotate products?
Yeah. Like there's I'm not super familiar with the type.
Right.
But what I'm explaining is like, let's say you get like hair wax or something, right? So you get like a wax for one day, and then it's like you're not supposed to go heavy the next day. Instead, you use like a lighter product, kind of like give your hair time to like recover from that.
Okay.
And then you put the heavy product in again.
Okay.
Have you not seen these?
I've not seen that.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting really in depth in hair product.
But that probably is true because just like the variety that there is here, you know.
Yeah. The idea behind it is like product can be damaging to your hair if you're putting it in all the time. So it's like it's giving your hair like time to breathe. But that whole concept is something I would have thought about.
Yeah.
No.
So what would you think is like, for guys at least, what do you think is like the difference between like the typical men's haircut in the States versus here?
Oh man. I would say the most typical hairstyle for men is the buzz cut.
The buzz cut.
Yeah.
You mean just like all around equal?
Just the buzz cut.
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, I got that all the time.
Yeah. And like, I mean, you'll see it everywhere here for men too. Like, you go into the you ever been to like the salaryman hair cutting places?
I've seen them. I've never been in them.
They're like 1,000 yen, so it's like $10, right? And you go in and you don't get to request a haircut. You just go in and it's assumed that you're getting a salaryman buzz cut.
Yeah.
That's what the guy's there for.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And it's really funny because I've gone in a couple times and it really reminded me of when I was in the military.
Yeah.
Because that's what the military barbers were like. It's like, you didn't get to go into a military barber and be like, yeah, so I would like, you know, just like a little fade right here and, you know, keep this at like 2-inch length. It's like, no. No, they ain't messing around with that. Yeah. They take their clippers, they turn them on, they do the thing a couple times on your head, and you leave.
Yeah,
that's
right. It's all decided ahead of time.
Yeah. So it really reminded me of back when I was in the military, and it's pretty funny. And you go there, and it's like it's literally for one type of person. Yeah. It's only salarymen will go to that place.
Yeah, you know. So I have a question. Would you feel like, do you think that like the typical long hair guys cut is similar to like the emo cut back in the United States?
No, I wouldn't.
No,
I mean, like looks wise, yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, looks wise, like with the hair cascading down the face.
Oh, for sure. Looks wise, yes, but I think it's like a different crowd.
Totally.
It's attracted. Like the guys with that hairstyle here are just like, I don't want to use the term normal because I think that might be a little rude, but like they're just worker guys.
Yeah,
you know,
just regular. Yeah,
but with hairstyles that like I guess would look like the emo hairstyle.
You know what's kind of interesting to me though is like, at least in Seattle, I saw this is the in the States the man bun got really popular.
Yeah.
And
especially in our generation.
Yeah, in our generation for sure. But what was funny about that was like a lot of people, they didn't grow their hair very long before, so they had like the teeny tiniest little, like, I don't even want to call it a man bun. It was more like a man pimple or something like that. It was just so small up here. Like, I'm thinking, like, is there a purpose for you to even have this?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because like in Japan, the chomage from the samurai, right? That was pretty common for a long time. But it feels like in the States, more people have man buns.
Yeah, there was a dark time in my life when I was growing my hair out last year.
Did you get a man bun?
I was almost on the verge of it.
Okay.
And then I stopped and I came back to my senses.
So explain to people why you think we have an aversion to man buns.
I think it comes from a Seattle culture thing, and the impression of a man bun, at least coming from Seattle culture, is kind of like a pretentious.
Yeah,
yuppie.
It's a hipster thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a hipster thing. And if you go to Seattle, it's like you'll notice that there's a very like hipster coffee culture, right? And
by the way, I just want to check. Can you describe what a hipster is? Can you explain what that is?
So a hipster is a person who goes back and is attracted to retro things. So that means like,
a lot.
Well, yeah. And so they don't like things that are popular in mainstream culture. They like things that may not be old fashioned, but they look old fashioned.
Yeah.
So like, a perfect example is like, if you go to a university, so for example, like University of Washington, right? You'll see some guy with like a typewriter.
Yeah, with a typewriter, right?
Starbucks. And you're just like, why the fuck are you using
it's a keyboard that looks like a...
Yes.
It's a keyboard that looks like a typewriter.
Right? It's not a real typewriter because that would be, inconvenient, right?
Yeah.
But he's using a keyboard that has the annoying ass clicks, right? For the typewriter, and so like those kind of things. And look, like I'm sure there's nice people who are also hipsters, but there's like a stereotype among hipsters where there's like kind of like an arrogance, like, oh, you're using that mainstream thing, Yeah, I don't do that because like most people do it, and so it's like it's that kind of attitude, and I think like man buns are very associated with that kind of personality.
Because traditionally in America, you had very short hair, and they're like, "I'm growing out my hair. I'm different."
You cut your hair? I'm growing mine out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna donate it when it's at a certain length.
To be honest, I was a hipster in college.
Were you?
I was big
my
time.
God.
I'm glad we didn't meet at that time.
Oh my God, Arthur!
Dude, so Austin, do you know why the hipster burnt his mouth on the coffee?
Why?
He drank it before it was cool.
Okay, that's a good
that's a good one, right?
But it's like so part of Seattle culture is like there's a kind of a level of arrogance.
Yeah, it's like I don't follow the mainstream. I follow my own way, so I'm better than you.
Yeah, especially because Seattle's on the West Coast, so like we're at 100% part of West Coast culture, and California and I would say Portland and Seattle are kind of like mixed into the same group. But you have California and you have like the Pacific Northwest on the West Coast, and these cultures are battling each other all the time.
Right. How what would you say is like, so how would you define Pacific Northwest and California culture?
So California culture is like I mean, with using a few words, mainstream culture.
Mainstream, yeah.
Like it's the popular thing, whatever that is. It's the popular thing. So it's like to equate it to Japan. It's like Osaka, right?
Okay,
like all the popular like really cool things are in Osaka, right?
Yeah.
And like Seattle is, or the Pacific Northwest is like kind of like on the fringe of mainstream.
Right.
Like they're just attracted to mainstream culture enough to be cool.
Yeah.
But they don't like the really popular things.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I were to compare it to Japan, it'd almost be like Shimokitazawa style.
Sure.
Like where that's like all the indie people are there,
Yeah. So it's like they still are relevant to all the mainstream stuff. Like it's not that obscure where like someone would look at them and be like, "Oh, I don't want to do with that."
Yeah.
But it's just out there enough where they can say they're not part of it.
Well, did you see the like the Portland like picture of Darth Vader on a unicycle? Did you ever see that? Okay. Yeah, so Portland is kind of weird in that way, but...
Dude, Seattle's got some weird stuff, too. Like, did you know there was a giant statue of Stalin in Seattle?
It's Lenin.
Oh, it's Lenin.
I climbed it one time. I climbed it one time.
Did you climb it?
In Fremont,
Yeah, so there's this area in Seattle called Fremont, which is kind of known as like, well, it originally started as like a hippie town.
Yeah.
Like literally a hippie town. And hippies are like kind of like hipsters from the 1970s. They were like kind of associated with like drug culture and anyways. So I don't know who ended up purchasing it, but when the Soviet Union fell, there was just like somebody who just went over to Russia and bought a statue of Lenin and then brought it back.
Yeah.
It's just like it's kind of funny because it kind of have you ever read 1984?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what doublespeak means?
Yeah, doublespeak, yeah.
So I feel like that
double plus good.
Yeah, I feel like that statue kind of serves as like a symbol of doublespeak too, because it's like, you know, on one hand it's like ironic that it's ironic that there's a statue of Lenin there, because he's like kind of a symbol of oppression, because it's a, you know, it's from Russia, right? But it's like at the same time it's like you know, that area in Seattle is like really heavily favors like socialism and communism.
Sure. Yeah, I think people called it like the People's Republic of Fremont as a joke.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. Seattle's a weird place.
Yeah. Well, so I got to tell you, so in Fremont, you know, because I used to spend a lot of time there when I was in college. Every year they have like a nude bike, not race, but like a bike-a-thon or something.
You know, that doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah. So you get naked, you get on your bike, and you ride around.
Why would you do that? That sounds so uncomfortable.
I know it does. It is probably really uncomfortable, but you know, the Pacific Northwest is very avant-garde, very strange.
Yeah, I just like, I'm thinking about that, and I just feel like my thighs would be chafing. And oh god,
yeah, for sure,
that sounds
for sure. And the women wear like body paint and stuff like that.
Yeah. But anyways, back on the hairstyle. Hairstyle. We got on a long tangent there.
Naked bike riding. Yeah.
We went from man buns to naked bike riding.
Yeah.
That really needs to be in the description.
So from man buns to naked bike riding, for sure. So okay, so you get your haircut here in Japan, right? Where do you go to get your haircut?
So that's actually an interesting question, because it's quite a bit different from where I go in the US. So where I went in the US is I would just go to a local hair salon and I would pay probably $15 to get my hair cut.
Yeah, $15-20. And plus tip.
Yeah. But here, like, I like to be pampered here.
Oh yeah?
Like I go and get like 5,000 yen haircuts. I like the massage.
Yeah, the head spa. Oh.
Yeah, you go get a head massage, and usually I'll go to like, you know, a specialized barber, and you know, they know. I don't look for people who can speak English, because my Japanese is at a point where like I can explain what I want in Japanese, but I will specifically look for men.
Yeah. So men like barbers or
I'll specifically look for a men's barber or a men's hair salon, because I just feel like I get taken care of, and I feel like a man.
Well, yeah, because
so,
they
what
understand
I mean?
better. But I have a question for you. So do you feel like, because, you know, like Caucasian hair and like Asian hair is different?
Oh, quite a bit, of course.
So how did you find someone who can do Caucasian hair?
So, it's not so much that I went out and found somebody, but when I'm specifically looking for a place, I will look through. You can look at like the reviews on Google.
Okay.
For the places, and I'll look at like the hairstyles they have as an example, and if I see a hairstyle that I like, so for example, I was looking for high and tight when I got it.
High and tight,
and it just so happened that I actually got my haircut in Oita.
Okay.
And it was my wife's hair salon.
Oh, cool.
Well, not her, the place that she goes to. I mean. And they've known this guy for like 15 years. He cuts like all the family's hair. And so it just so happens that this guy's like really talented in stylizing short hair for men.
Okay.
And so I'll kind of look for a place like that,
Mm-hmm.
and like, here's the hairstyle I want. This place looks like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
For that specific hairstyle, and that's the place I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was really struggling looking for a hair salon, and then I ended up in 2017. I ended up getting a student who was a hairstylist.
Yeah.
And after we were done with our lessons, I'm like, hey, can you cut my hair? Because she trained to like cut like Caucasian hair and stuff like that. And I still it's been 5 years. I still go there though.
You still go.
She's in she recently opened up her own salon in Jiugaoka. Now.
Okay.
She's doing really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I moved to another place, and so I'm trying to think about other options that are closer to where I live.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm just like, cause like I remember, cause so when I was a study abroad student here, I didn't have any money, and so I actually went online and I found people who were trying to train with cutting Caucasian hair, and they're like, "Oh, we'll cut your hair for free for training," and so I got 3 haircuts in like 1 year.
Nice.
for free. Yeah, and so like I was trying to look for that, but
yeah, it's really. I actually really find it interesting how intimidated a lot of hair salons and barbers are with cutting foreigners' hair. And to be fair, there is a massive difference between like specifically, I would say, a Caucasian and Asian hairstyles. Because like if you look at Asian hair, it's a lot thicker than Caucasian hair, right? And so like it's a lot easier to damage, and
it's fairer.
Yeah, it's you just don't have to. Yeah, it's fairer, like in the sense that you don't have to cut as much. Yeah. Right. So you like I remember I've gone a couple times, and you'll get people who are just like, what do I do? Okay, man, I don't need to cut this much, and it's like, dude, just cut my hair. Like, don't worry about it. Like, and I think another thing is like, and I think this is more specific to Japanese culture than, physiology, but people are really worried about messing up hairstyles here. Yeah. Really worried about it.
Yeah, way more than in the United States.
I actually really appreciate that, though. Because, like, I would go into hair salons in the U.S., and
someone make a mistake and be like,
you get the person and be like, screwed it up, just come in a month. It's like, no, I don't want to wear this for a month.
Yeah, right.
Fix it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember one time, so like this was like a couple weeks before I went to spend a month in Osaka. My first time going to Japan. We got my hair cut. We got a buzz cut. But it was a cheap hair salon place right next to like a McDonald's in Salem, Massachusetts. And the woman didn't have her glasses on her. So when she cut my back hairline, it was super slanted. Oh. And I was like 14, 15. I didn't understand the difference. So my mom came in and was like, that's not good. So she ended up trying to level it out. Like she actually borrowed my mom's reading glasses and she leveled out the back hairline. Oh. And so my back hairline was super high up, like to the base of my skull.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, but she was just like, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't bring my glasses today. Like in Japan, that would never fly.
That would be unacceptable. Yeah, like heads would roll.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I feel like we were going to talk about like hairstyles, but we talked about hair cutting culture a lot, which is good.
Yeah. I didn't really see it going that direction, but
yeah,
that's the direction
but I mean, it took. I have nothing else to share for this topic. We talked about it a lot.
That's fair. I mean, we got about 2/3 of the way down.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I was looking at this like, man, we drank a lot of this.
It's good though, man.
Dude, that's the problem with this. When it's really good, you just drink it and then you feel it afterwards. But we still have another video to film, so
we do.
I'll see you next time.
Yep.